Good afternoon, good evening. Catching up with us from it feels like a minute since I last did chat with you guys. I've been all over the place, and that's why I haven't been very consistent. I haven't been live so many times, so much because obviously, as I said, it's been some time out really. And as I've been away, I've just been thinking about one thing, and just before the beginning of August, I had a Bible study group, and we were talking about total well-being. And one of the things that we were discussing was actually the story of Elijah. If you're new here, my name is Claire. I have the privilege of being the founder of this channel. I am a registered nutritionist. I love everything about nutrition, but also I'm a fitness enthusiast. On a day-to-day basis, I teach at a local university, and every single day I try to do something that will push me towards a healthy living. And so one of the things that really encourage me, or rather push me or motivate me into this journey, is the whole concept of well-being and wellness. And so as we're talking about the Bible study, which is something that was facilitating, we're chatting about really what happens when we don't take time to literally be able to recuperate, to be able to rest, to be able to recover. And we're talking about one of the best examples that I can think about as a Christian. Openly, I say that I'm a Christian, and I'm not ashamed about that. I draw all my lessons in life from the Bible. And so we're talking from the book of First Kings, where you see this story of this prophet Elijah. Right? Elijah was a man of God. He was so bold. He was so confident. He was so courageous. He was not afraid to face this king of the land and say to the king, this is what God says, right? But then we see a different story when we arrive in chapter 19. Just the word of a woman, Jezebel, makes Elijah so scared that he decides he really is not good enough. He was good for the dead. He wishes he was dead. He wishes that God will take his life away, all these kind of things. And I was wondering what really happened between a bold and courageous prophet to a coward who's literally running away from a woman and desiring to die. And as you're looking at his story, he's literally on the run. He's like really so much of adrenaline junkie at that stage. Mind is set on the goal, on the purpose. He's just like racing through. But he doesn't take time. You don't see any time that he takes just to recuperate, just to recover. And so as I'm looking at that story, I was thinking about our lives most of the time. We can't be those people that we are just on the go, right? We have one thing to finish, the next thing to finish, and it feels like our lives are just never stopping. I was talking to one of my sisters yesterday, and she said the last time I was just thinking, like, what is the last time we ever took a time to break? What was the last time you took a break? What was the last time you decided to do something good with yourself? And thanks, my dear friend, I can see you online. I didn't know you were going to look for me today. And this, I am just sneaking into you to check us before we rest. And I think I have connection issues. My sister yesterday, and you're talking about just these human beings and not doing beings, right? But you can easily become a doing being, that you're just doing and doing and doing one thing after the other, one thing after the other, one thing after the other. And there are dangers of that, because if you go back into the story of Elijah, he gets to a point where he's now burnout. He experiences these nasty burnouts that he actually just thinks like, the best I can do with myself is literally die and go, right? And so in the moment, you see several things happening that I would love to draw some comparisons from that will help us in this journey of life, and if you ever experience a burnout. The first thing that we see, he meets an angel, and the angel says to him, he gives him food and says, you need to eat this food. And those of you who got disconnected, I don't have stable internet connection. I'm just doing this to get myself in touch again with you guys. So the angel gives him some food and says to him, "Wake up and eat." So he rises up, he eats, and then after he goes to bed and wakes up and eats again and goes to bed. And he had actually eaten gave him energy and strength to run for 40 days and 40 nights without any other nourishment. And I was thinking about so many times, and you hear maybe probably some noise in the background because of my brother's kids in the background. That's completely fine. Is that when you're thinking about burnout, some of the times we burn out because we don't take time to look after ourselves, we don't take time to look being, we don't take time to eat well, we don't take time to exercise, we don't take time to sleep well. So if you're experiencing a burnout, the